President Donald Trump under fire for comments he reportedly made about American troops. An article in The Atlantic magazine claims the president called those killed in battle losers.
WGN's Brona Tumulty joining us now with more on that. Brona.
That's right. The White House and Trump himself are vehemently denying the president ever said that, but the journalist who wrote the piece stands by it.
There is nobody that feels more strongly about our soldiers, our wounded warriors, our soldiers that died in war than I do. It's a hoax.
President Donald Trump doubling down today on his denial of an Atlantic magazine article which claims he called fallen U.S. service members suckers and losers.
No, it was a fake story written by a magazine that was probably not going to be around much longer, but it was a totally fake story.
It cites 4 sources who say the president cancelled a visit to honour fallen troops in 2018 at a French cemetery because he feared his hair would become dishevelled in the rain, reportedly telling senior staff members, quote, "Why should I go to that cemetery? It's filled with losers." Back then, the White House stated bad weather forced the visit to be scrapped.
I called home. I spoke to my wife. I said, I hate this. I came here to go to that ceremony.
However, he couldn't have called home to speak with Melania as she was with him at the time. During that same trip, Trump also reportedly referred to 1,800 Marines killed in a major World War I battle as suckers for getting killed.
He really doesn't understand the sacrifice, and he truly does not understand what it means to put something above yourself, to serve this nation.
Tammy Duckworth, Illinois Senator and retired National Guard Lieutenant Colonel who lost both of her legs in combat, had this to say.
He doesn't value this nation. He doesn't truly value the Constitution and all of the things that America stands for.
Also weighing in, Joe Biden, whose late son, Beau, was awarded the Bronze Star Medal for his service in Iraq.
Who the heck does he think he is? I'm always cautioned not to lose my temper. This may be as close as I've come in this campaign.
The article continues, stating Trump reportedly became angry that flags at the White House were lowered to half-staff following the death of John McCain, telling aides we're not going to support that loser's funeral. Trump tweeting today he never called McCain a loser, but back in 2015, while on the campaign trail, he did.
But, you know, he lost. So I never liked him as much after that, because I don't like losers.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay?
Now again, the person who penned the article and created this firestorm says he has multiple sources confirming that what he wrote actually happened. And also tonight, we're learning that some of the details in the article have been independently fact-checked by outlets like the Associated Press and have been confirmed to be accurate.
Thank you, Brona.